since my V videos have been doing well, there's no reason for me to abandon my audience that actually enjoys V. And while I've covered a lot of Divine Z, and I will still be covering more, today I'd like to give a shout out to a very special deck, a deck I hate with all my heart. Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Witches V here. Today I am back to cover V Fenrir from a Singaporean tournament recently. So, as you know from my community posts, yes, I do post community posts, there was actually a winner from an official V Bushware tournament at an AGC shop, and the winner was Fenrir. Fenrir with the Witches package, which I thought was very innovative that these guys could win. I mean, if you've seen their match log, it certainly seemed very impressive, so congrats to the winner. The thing is, I actually own a lot of cards in his deck. Matter of fact, I actually did a V Witches deck profile about 3 years ago for Genesis. So I'm going to put a link in the description. It's a very cheap and affordable core, and this pilot has integrated both Fenrir and the Witches into the same deck alongside the Ride Fix promo, because you know this will not be an RMS004 video in 2024 if I just don't have Ride Fix promos. And this guy actually did that too. So I was very, very interested to see this list, and fortunately I managed to get my hands on this list, so I'm going to be reviewing it. Again, congratulations to the topper. I've tried this myself. I think this is, I'm going to say it, fucking disgusting, but it shows a lot that there is still innovation in V. I mean, you take a look at the World's Invitational and it's just Miltai and Solemn Vanguard jerking each other off to Grand Prix Premium for 7 hours. It's kind of boring, and of course the entire D for that side is just Shiranui spam. So why not we take a break from both of that and, you know, enjoy a format without over triggers. Enjoy a format that's God intended, and, you know, with some good old bullshit like Genesis, because I hate Genesis. It's my least favorite clan. This clan is so broken. Our grade 3s, we have for Fenrir, a copy of Vanguard and 1 copy of this guy. Now, I have no clue why there's so little grade 3s in this deck. I get it that because this grade 2 pool is very big, but like, this seems a bit too risky to me. But then again, the plussing of this deck is pretty good, so I'm not in a position to judge, to be very honest. Let's talk about Fenrir first. So Fenrir is from VBT 12, that very, very deadly set that ended V. But he's one of the weaker cards, but he's still pretty good. He has a lot of utility, and it's very similar to his G series form, where they focused on utility. So I find it pretty interesting. And he's still drawn by Daisuke Iizuka, so like, you can't really say, I hate you, but it's drawn by Daisuke Iizuka. You have to love it. Soul Blast 1 or more cards, search your deck up for 1 card with the same grade as the sum of grades of the card Soul Blasted for this cost. Reveal it, put it to your hand, shuffle your deck, and call a card from your hand to the Vanguard circle. So it's an Omni train for anything in the deck, as long as you just pay an appropriate cost, and then you can call anything from hand. So it's really good. You can search for Perfect Guard, you can search for... Why am I even listing? You can search for anything in this deck, which basically just puts the entire deck on a toolbox. Like, do I need to explain this at this point? The second skill is when your card is put from your soul to your drop zone, call +1 and call one of those cards to your Vanguard circle. This ability is once per turn. It doesn't state when, so you can do it during the main phase, you can use it during the battle phase. So it's basically multi-attack if you wanted it to be, and it also can be a board builder if you wanted it to be. And its last skill is when you attack, Soul Blast 1, this unit just gains 10,000 power. So all in all, Fenrir is just high utility, and this deck focuses on looping advantage to completely crush and grind out your opponent, which is very insane. It's very strong, it's very good. Fenrir is definitely the best Genesis boss to be doing this, because even though we don't have a Witches boss for V Genesis, this is probably the closest thing you will get to a boss with a super facilitating engine. I've tried this myself with Fortuna. It was alright, but this is definitely the superior option. This is definitely what you would go for if you were playing competitively. And it shows, because this guy won, right? So yeah, I certainly think that Fenrir is a good boss to be playing. Although most people do play Fenrir with the Regalia duo, because the Regalia duo is the most gay form of multi-attacking with the Force 2 and whatnot. These guys are trying something different in this list, and you will see as the list goes on. It's very interesting, trust me. I assure you this is worth your time. 1 copy of Vanguard and 1 copy of Krauts. Krauts is really simple. It's just when placed on Vanguard regular circle, soul charge for each one of your units. It can be a mass soul charge 6 if you want to. It bears the Witch and Sorcerer name, which means you can search it with its in-engine core. Because yes, there isn't in Engine Core. Vanguard Gundar is also drawn by Daisuke Izuka, so you cannot hate this guy. But this guy is a complete dick. I hate this card. It's so good. When placed on Vanguard Circle, Soul Blast 1, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards and retire it. If it's on the Vanguard Circle, choose all of your opponent's Vanguards instead of one. So it's basically Soul Blast 1 Blade Master. Like, that's the entire joke. It's Soul Blast 1 Blade Master. Like, go to any Kagura player right there and urinate straight into their mouth and tell them, you suck. Because this, as my side piece, does more than your entire deck. I cannot believe that. This is his first skill. He has a second skill. It's written here. You can't read Japanese, it's fine. I'll read it to you. But there's a second skill right there. His first line of text is Soul Plus 1, burn a board. How is this fair? And as a rear guard, this is still on play slide 1. Like, you can loop this with Fenrir, right? So essentially, with just one card in your slot, you basically now get a spot remover. Like, how? Like, I get Fenrir's utility, but this is pushing it too far. Like, come on, man. It's unfucking believable. At the end of the battle, this attacks a rear guard. You can put this unit in your soul, get the top 3 cards of your deck. Put one among them on the top, put one into the bottom, put into your soul. So Vanguard Gundar moves himself and one card from the top 3 into your soul, and then you rearrange the last 2 onto the top and the bottom. Sets up offensive triggers, sets up defensive triggers, and yeah, it's good. It's a really good card. Moving on to our grade 2s. Our grade 2s, we play 4 copies of Destiny Sorcerer Ramonis, and then for other sorcerers, we also play a copy of this guy. This is Falling Star Sorcerer Vine, who is a familiar name because I used to play this as well. So it's nice to see you again, old friend. For our funny tech cards, we play 3 copies of, and this is the one you want to pay attention to, Morning Grace Sorcerer Ashwa, and then for more Genesis good stuff, we play 3 copies of Unappeasing Bites Glepnia. Yep, so quite a lot to go through, but at the same time, not a lot. So I'll go through the Sorcerer. No, actually, I'll go through Glepnia first. Glepnia is just generic good bullshit Genesis. I mean, like, it's just good when plays. Count Blast 1, Soul Charge. Count Blast 1, Soul Charge 1, choose a card from your soul, return to your hand. Its utility is so good, and when you attack, Soul Blast 1, and this unit gets that. So it's a 20k beat on regular circle, and on plays, he's just Column Bard for the whole soul. Ha ha ha. Yeah, there's really not much to say. I don't really have a thing against him other than he's not a witch's name. He's not a sorcerer. But I mean, to be honest, this guy is just insane bullshit. So like, he can stay in this list. It's fine. If you want to talk about more bullshit that can allow you to check out your soul, that would be fine. Vine, when placed on a rearguard circle, discard a card from your hand, choose a normal unit from your soul, and put it to your hand. So he gets rid of 1. And then after that, he just takes 1 card, normal card from your soul. It's not as good as compared to Glepnia, but it is a sorcerer name. So I can see why they play it as 1 for tech. So it's nice. If we want to talk about consistency, we have to talk about Right Fix promos, because I am not done covering every Right Fix promo in Cardfight Vanguard. I'm far from it. Destiny Sorcerer Ramonis is a really, really bastard card. I completely forgot that this card was even part of an archetype. Like, it's like giving Eradicators a Right Fix promo. I don't get it. I don't get how they thought this was okay. Like, whoever the hell is writing these, like, you why? Just why? When his unit attacks while boosted on Vanguard Rearguard Circle, Count Blast 1, choose a crit or draw from your soul, activate the trigger once, and tuck it to the bottom of your deck. You get a trigger just for a Counter Blast. Come on. And it's a crit or a draw. So it's a draw, you draw 1 card, plus 10. It's a crit, you get crit plus 1 and 10,000 power. Really nice. And the usual skill is the normal skill for the right fix. At the beginning of your right phase, discard 1 if your Vanguard's grade 1 or less, to the top 5 cards in your hand, choose 1 grade 2 or less among them, reveal it to your hand, shuffle the deck, yada yada yada. All the same stuff. You've seen enough of my VDeck profiles to know where this is going. But yeah, this is pretty much it. It is pretty good. This is definitely a 4-off in the deck. I don't think we need to discuss this. And it's searchable by its in archetype, and I'll show you why later. The last one, and the spicy tag, is this guy. It is Morning Grey Sorcerer Ashwa. At the end of the battle, this unit is boosted by Late Bloomer Sorcerer Palmet, who is also in this deck at a 3-off, I believe. Let me see if I can find him. Give me a second. This guy. But we'll cover him later, okay? You basically move this unit to the soul, get Imaginary Force, and put it to the Vanguard Circle. You heard me right. put it to the Vanguard circle and move this to your soul. So if it's boosted by one specific name, which is already searchable by the right fix promo for this entire pocket core, and is also a sorcerer name, which means you can play this around with the sorcerers, you get a force marker. Uranus literally is bleeding out of his anus. Like, are you kidding me? This is a rare. It's it's a rare. I cannot be asked to finish this deck profile at this point. Like, there is no way someone looked at this and said, yeah, this is fair. Whoever brought this to this tournament, I don't know who you are personally, but damn you, you are smart. You are proving to me that V has plenty of innovation left. For our grade 1s, we play 3 copies of just now Late Bloomer Sorcerer Palmet before we play 3 copies of Skull, which I found it interesting. I would play 4 personally. We play 4 copies of this one. This is gonna be Apple Witch Cider. Then we play another witch. This one's one I remember. Spring Sauce Witch Physis. And then we play 2 copies of Valentia. So let's break it down real quick. We play Skull because it's a ride fix promo. I really would play 4 of him because I'm hyper afraid of not being able to ride Fenrir. But this list played 3, so I'm respecting this list. I'm doing a 1-to-1. But, you know, if you wanted to play 4, I would personally recommend it. It's your typical grade 3 searcher, and his plus 5k condition is as long as you Soul Blast a card for cost. Which you will do. It's not negotiable. We've been talking about the archetype of Witches and Sorcerers. Now it's time I break the ice for you. Spring Sauce Witch Physis. If you and your opponent's Vanguard is the same grade, you can play Soul Blast 1 for this cost. So if you go second, if you ride this, you can use Soul Blast 1 instead. But if not, it's a Counter Blast 1. When placed Counter Blast 1, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card with Witch or Sorcerer in its name and put it to your hand, the rest go to the bottom. For Counter Blast and Soul Blast 1, looking at the top 4, which is an odd number, 4. Since when do we search the top 4? Well, never mind, we search the top 4 now. You get a Witch or Sorcerer, which is basically half of this deck. And if you're not happy, you can just add more Witch and Sorcerer names. Because V Genesis apparently has over 20 different Sorcerer and Witches. And I would remind you that your Right Fix promo is also a Witch and Sorcerer. So, yeah, not much to say there. Pretty good card, plays at 4. Moving on to the rest of our grade 1s. Now that we've got the big one out of the way, let's talk about the rest of the Witches. This is Witch of Origins for Alancia, who is a retrain. This is a retrain. When this unit is put into the drop from the soul during your main phase, bind this card, choose 2 cards from your drop, put 1 to the soul, put 1 to the bottom of the deck. So nice, it can refill the board, it refills the deck, which is, it's good, it's pretty good. And at the same time, it also gives you a very unique ability in that it also can, you know, loop soul when you lose this card from the soul. So if you soul blast it, you don't really soul blast per se, you can't just move cards back to the soul, which allow you to fix and to get you out with Fenrir. So you can toolbox and go infinite. So yeah, it's pretty good. It does have a second skill though, which is that at the end of the battle, using boosted, put 2 rear guards in the same column as this unit to the soul and draw a card. You minus 1, I believe, because you get the draw off using her. But in the grand scheme of things though, it doesn't matter because the number advantage this deck does generate. 4 copies of Cider. Cider is also a retrain. At the end of the battle, this unit boosts. You can soul charge 1 and return this unit to the hand, or if not, you can soul charge 2. Nice, it's not bad. It's a pretty good booster that you can drop early on. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, put 1 card from your hand to the soul, and this unit gains 5,000 power until the end of the battle for every 3 cards in your soul. As long as Fenrir builds a big soul, you can essentially use this card plus 1 additional card from your hand to free soul charge it, and then your Vanguard gets 5,000 power for every 3 cards in the soul. So basically, as long as you play the game correctly and build a large soul, you will have basically an additional 4 perfect guards, which is not bad. Again, Witch and Sorcerer name, you can train this up. And lastly, we have Palmet. And in the battle, this unit boosted Morning Grave Sorcerer Ashwa, Soul Blast 1, draw a card. Draw a card for Soul Blast. I can't even. So this guy moves himself to the soul and gets a force. The -1 for a force. And then this guy just Soul Blast 1 to draw. And they're all sorcerer name. This deck is so unfair. Moving on to our grade 0s. Our grade 0s are actually really easy because, you know, grade 0s are the easiest part of every deck, right? Like, I do appreciate that this list that I'm getting from the AGC winner. He went pretty creatively. He plays a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh no, he's just playing different ratios. 8 crits, 4 Hue Guardians, and 4 drop PG. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's nice that he, varied the crits, and I tried my best to do the same. I think he had a bit more variance. I think he had some Bang Dream crits or something. I don't really know. But he had 4 drop PGs, which is pretty good, and 4 Hue Guardians, which is very good. A sum of grade 3 is nice because it basically allows you to also toolbox out Fenrir. So yeah, that's really about it there is to say. And very honestly, that brings me to the end of my deck profile for Fenrir Sorcerer, I would say. So I would have to put 1 Sorcerer here, and 1 Sorcerer here, yeah, and then I'll just put the right fix here. So I've just laid all the key cards out and the main combos. There's a lot of tech that you can play in this deck thanks to Fenrir that he can really fish out and put it out to its greatest potential. But at the same time, there's also a lot of consistency within the Sorcerer core, which, although I've mentioned it before in the previous deck profile, I think the list really blows it out of water and it really cements exactly what you can do with this level of cards. It honestly surprises me that in the year of 2024, when Bushiroad holds official V tournaments, this is the type of bullshit that wins. Like, how is this deck never seen before? And that's why it was so interesting to me. I just had to review it. I know there's been some people that commented on my V deck profiles and said, oh, your lists are really interesting, and because of that, I wanted to build the decks that you cover for V in modern time. It makes me very happy. I feel very appreciated, and thank you. It's really thanks to all of your support. But at the same time, I also want to show you that I'm not the only one innovating on that for V. There are other people out there who are innovating for V. People much more frightening and probably more skilled than me. Because if this guy could win with this, which I have no idea how, like, it's pretty good. I tried this list myself. I'm personally very impressed by it. But at the same time, like, from a theoretical standpoint, it doesn't make sense. How does this outgrind and survive stuff like Steam Maidens? How does this beat like Gurgate? How does this beat Luat? I don't know. But knowing that there will be a V ban list in March 2023 thanks to Worlds, I'm excited. I'm happy for the future of V. I say that we have a lot of things moving forward that we can be very excited for. People are excited for D, rightly so. People are excited for P. Not sure why, but for V, definitely, I'm really, really excited for this. Like, this looks fun. If people play more of these kind of decks and win with their skill or their luck, I'm happy. It shows you that there's certainly something left in this format still to give. And remember, we've just finished the P products for this year. They announced the 3 crested P deck profile deck sets, which are basically just history decks repeated again with marker spam and turn 3 strides, which are really lame, to be honest. If they do a V product, which they probably will since they already just finished the P product, I mean, there's a lot of good things they could do, and it's really exciting if they do end up doing more with V. They are doing more defensive promos, which I will cover for the 2024 V promos, and yeah, I'm honestly just really excited to see what happens next. Vanguard's in this really interesting spot where everything just seems on the rise. A lot of people are doing well, a lot of things are doing well, and I'm just really excited to see where we go next. And again, congratulations to this guy who won. If you won a V official tournament in Singapore or hell in Japan or anywhere, I'll be happy to cover your list if you send it to me. If you are a list that you're generally proud of that no one has seen before, I will be more than happy to cover it. Assuming I have the cards and the money. Please sponsor me. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.